Welcome back to PimaTalks from the PCCTV studios at Pima Community College's West Campus. I'm Tom Casey. I'm a media designer with the college, and I'm sitting in the host chair today. With me in the studio is Jennifer Wellborn. She's the Student Life Coordinator for West Campus. Jennifer, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to talk about how student life supplements the academic life of our students. So we're going to start. I want to know a little bit about what you do.
Well, we kind of do the outside of the classroom programming for students, whether it be clubs or leadership programs, multicultural programming, service learning, which is where, students go out into the community and volunteer. We do a little bit of social programming. So usually we do a Halloween party or something fun. And then we work with collaborate with departments for some of the other areas that we program, like health and wellness, career and transfer, and kind of that overarching academic. So we might work with a department or multiple departments to help put on an event. Sometimes the departments come to us, sometimes we reach out to them. So we usually just sum up what we do is we're kind of the outside of the class stuff. But students can participate with our department in a number of different ways. Most of them participate in clubs and our leadership programs, as well as attending some of the programming that we do at the different campuses.
Okay. And something I've been wondering about is why is it so important? What's the need? Can't students get this elsewhere? Why does the college need to provide this?
So there have been studies done for years that show that a student's engagement and involvement in the campus life, and specifically those outside of class stuff, or just making that connection with a faculty member or staff member, actually helps improve their retention, persistence, and graduation rates. So a lot of what we do is really to help students make that connection here at Pima, especially since some of them aren't here for that long. We do have some students that are here for a little bit longer, but so we want to try to help them make that engagement here so that they can be successful, and especially if they're going to transfer, they can build some of those skills that are going to help them when they move on or out in the workplace when they've completed their certificate or degree.
Okay. And can you tell me how you do reach out to students and what are some of the challenges in getting students involved?
I think one of our biggest challenges is, some of our students may not realize that we have all these services. Some of our students, go to class, go back out to their car, and they leave. Maybe they go to work, maybe they go somewhere else. So we try to put our programming out, in public spaces so that they can engage with it as they're walking by on their way to the cafeteria or on their way, to or from class. And we try to make them as interactive as possible. For example, we just had Constitution Day last week, and we gave out pocket constitutions, and we did Constitution trivia. And so if you could answer, what are the first 10 amendments to the Constitution called, you would win a prize and things like that. So just those little tidbits where they can engage fairly quickly. Some of our programs are obviously much more intensive. They might be a workshop or a longer program, or our leadership programs are 1 day, 3 days, or our advanced leadership program will start later this semester. They'll have a couple of days of classroom time, for lack of a better description, and then they'll break into smaller groups and work on a project and work with Student Life to plan a leadership conference for high school students. So what we do looks a little bit different based on kind of what we're doing, what our target market is. But really, we just want students to have some connection to Pima Community College.
Mm-hmm. So that seems like the main goal is getting that connection. Are there metrics in terms of how do you reach people and goals that you're trying to reach that are Harder?
Yeah. So, I mean, we do do, assessment. We track students coming in and out of our office. We ask them to sign in when they come in, and there's several choices for what they're going to be there for. We have some computers that they can use. They might come to do that. They might come to have lunch with their friends, or like at the West Campus, we have a whole bookcase of board games, so they can just come and hang out with their friends. We have students that nap in our office.
And that's okay.
That's okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
Yeah. Obviously, we're going to ask you not to take up a lot of space in your napping, but we do have students that nap. We had a student that used to nap in our office a couple of times a week for a couple hours at a time, and that was totally fine. If that's what he needed, maybe he worked a night job and would come to class or whatever. We don't assume to know what the students' stories are, and if they need that nap, we're okay with that.
Okay, that's good. Meeting them where it's needed. Well, you have something exciting coming up. It's the Emerging Student Leaders Summit, and it's coming up on Friday, October 11th. Tell me a little bit about that.
So this program is open to any student who's currently enrolled at Pima, and it's no cost to them. We actually provide you lunch, so we go from about 8:30 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. We have a mix of keynote speakers and workshops, and we set it up like a conference where you get like a booklet, and at 9 o'clock you have these 3 or 4 choices to go to, and you kind of choose your own adventure of what you want to go to, and we cover several different kind of key and core areas of leadership. So this is not necessarily meant for students who already have leadership roles, although yes, they should definitely attend, but any student could come to this because these concepts and skills and things that they're going to pick up from this program are going to be useful for them currently in the classroom, out there in the world of work, and then if they do have some sort of more defined leadership role, it's going to help them with that as well. So we definitely want any and all students who are interested to attend. They just need to make sure they register by October 7th. Since we are providing lunch, we do need to have time to order the appropriate amount of lunches and meet people's potentially specific dietary needs.
Okay, that's cool. It's good to hear that lunch is provided, and any food allergies you're going to try to accommodate.
Yes.
So that's cool. Okay, good. Again, the deadline for registration is October 7th, and if for some reason you can't make the October one, there's another summit in February, but you should do the October one.
Definitely come to the October one, but if that date doesn't work for you, we'll be doing it again February 28th, the Friday after rodeo break. So we always try to pick, hopefully, what doesn't conflict with too many other activities. We know students have Friday classes, so we try to meet them, where we can. Eventually, somewhere down the line, hopefully we'll be able to offer this as some sort of online program. We're just not quite there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And there's a couple other retreats or summits coming up. Tell me a little bit about them.
Yeah, so coming up November 1st through 3rd will be our JADE retreat, which is our social justice retreat. So we cover topics of race, gender, sexual orientations, different ability levels, socioeconomic status, religion, kind of the intersectionality of all your different identities, and then how those systems of like power and privilege interact with each other. And we have a team of student, staff, and faculty that are in training right now to be the facilitators. And we do some activities as a large group and some where you'll be in a small group. And really you're just exploring your own identity, but learning about other people's identities as well. And we are introducing a new element to that this year where we're all going to be reading the same book prior to attending the retreat. So we all have that kind of common touch point and experience that we can, relate to what we're discussing at JADE as well.
Okay. And Aztec Gold.
Aztec Gold is our advanced leadership program. So our recommendation is that you complete the other 2 prior, but it's not required. So this is for somebody who has, a good foundation in leadership skills and things like that. We have applications for that due October 18th because we will be starting the program the following Friday, October 25th. And we'll be meeting again November 15th. So those are our 2 kind of classroom periods for that one, where we're learning about some different leadership theories and things like that. And then students will get into small groups to come up with a social change project out in our community. And then they'll also work with Student Life over the next several months to plan a leadership program for high school students that will take place in mid-April. So it's going to be a great hands-on learning experience for students with really a lot of opportunity to apply what they've learned throughout our leadership programs as leaders themselves and things like that. So we're really excited about that program. There is an application process for that as well, but that program is at no cost for students to participate in as well.
Okay, that's great. And you have help doing these. It's not...
No. So we have a team of student life coordinators, 1 at each campus, and we work collaboratively on these events, as well as our Pima Aztec Student Senate, which there's 2 representatives from each campus, and they meet monthly. That group has a couple of representatives to the All College Council and also the Board of Governors. So they're really taking the information and issues from their campus to their group, and then also to the administration and the board through that process. And then each campus has their own Aztec Student Advisory Board, which is the student government for each campus. And so that's students working collaboratively at their particular campus with representatives from each of our different clubs. So right now at West Campus, we have about 20 clubs. And so they help each other out. They plan activities. In the past, they've done some really impactful and powerful events for the students at their campuses. And it's really a great opportunity for those different clubs to work together to help support each other in whatever endeavors they're doing. So if one club needs some volunteers to help with their event, they can reach out to during the Aztec Student Advisory Board meeting and say, hey, we've got this event coming up on this date. We need some volunteers. Would anybody from your clubs be interested in giving us some help? So,
okay.
Yeah.
Real quick before we wrap up, I want to hit on food insecurity, which is a surprisingly real problem with community college students. Just tell me a little bit about the food pantry and how people can access it.
So, here at West Campus, there's a food pantry. There's also one at Desert Vista. Those 2 campuses are kind of the pilot program for it's called the Aztec Resource Center, or ARC. And studies have shown that 40% or more of college students are food insecure, meaning they're going to class hungry, they're going to work hungry, whatever it is, and you can't fully concentrate or, devote yourself to learning and things like that if you're hungry. So students can come by. It's not open all the time. They have posted hours for different days of the week, and they can get a bag of non-perishable items. We also sometimes get bread donated, and our Desert Vista campus also has some fresh food from their greenhouse that they have over at Desert Vista. So all students need to do is basically come in and they get their bag of food and they're ready to go. They don't need to identify themselves by their A number. We don't track in that way. We just kind of keep track of how many people are coming and how many pounds of food are coming in and out of the pantry. We have a partnership with the Community Food Bank, and we're able to pick up food from them. But we also are always seeking donations, and there's some donation bins around campus because some of the items that are wanted and needed, like peanut butter, are a little more expensive, and those don't tend to be items that we can get from like the community food bank and things like that, or, boxes of cereal, stuff like that. So definitely be on the lookout for those donation boxes. And if you got extra things in your pantry, or you can pick up an extra couple things when you're at the store, there's definitely a need for that. And students can come to either campus to pick up those items from the food pantry.
Okay. Well, it's too bad that need exists, but it is impressive, the broad spectrum of services that Student Life is providing our students, and it's surprising to hear it as someone who hasn't been a student for a while. So
yeah, and the ARC is a huge collaboration between multiple people and multiple different campuses here at West. Primarily, it is run and organized by our social services student organization and some of our social work students. So they are volunteering various number of hours a week to be in the pantry. And one of our social services faculty, Rachel Lord, is kind of the one overseeing it here at West. And then Dawn Harp with Trio is the one overseeing the food pantry at Desert Vista. So we've got our hands in there, but we're really more support on that because, as you can see, we do so many different things. Yeah. It's hard for us to devote as much time as is needed for the food pantry. Gotcha.
Well, Jen, that's all the time we have for today. I really appreciate you coming in. For information on any of the programs or general questions about Student Life at Pima, you can connect with Student Life on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for Pima Student Life, or drop by their offices. I visited the West Campus office yesterday, and it's super comfortable. Everyone's very inviting, and they would love to see you. For PimaTalks, I'm Tom Casey. If you like what you heard today, you should follow PCCTV on YouTube. It's the best way to keep in the know about new episodes and other fun things we're doing. Search for PCC-TV stream on YouTube. Thanks.